Hey, in this video, I want to go through the preparation of ozonated glycerin for nebulization so that we can administer the glycerin through the root of the lungs. We're just trying to get it into the body. So we're going to actually need to dilute it a little bit. So let's turn around here. Okay, so we have our ozonated glycerin, and what we're trying to do is make a 20% solution. So this is the necessary spoon you need, 1/8 teaspoon. Just like when we made the drink, we're using the 1/8 of a teaspoon. What we're gonna do is then mix it with 1 part of glycerin to 4 parts of either water, or I prefer this saline solution. You can order this really cheap on Amazon. This bottle cost 20 bucks and it's lasted me for, the last year, and I'm not even halfway through it, so it'll last a long time. Essentially what you want to do is 1 teaspoon measurement of this, technically 1/8 of a teaspoon. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to get our 1/8 teaspoon in here. There we go. I'm gonna just dunk that down in there. And now I need 4 more of these 1/8 teaspoons of the saline in order to create the concentration that we need. But what I'm gonna do, instead of doing that little spoon 4 times, the math shows me I can do this 1/2 teaspoon 1 time. This equals 4 of those. So essentially, we're just going to put that much either water or saline into the mix. I'm going to actually do this over a lid. See how it kind of spilled over a little bit? There we go. So I've got the exact measurements I need in this cup, and I'm going to vigorously stir this for about 30 seconds. This is an important part. You need this glycerin to dissolve into the water, and it does it relatively easy. It's not difficult. It just needs some agitation. So it might take you a full 30 seconds. This one's already done, but I am scraping the bottom, and I am being vigorous, and I'm agitating all this stuff. All right, so our glycerin has now dissolved into the mixture. Again, we did 1/8 teaspoon of the ozonated glycerin, and then we did 4/8 teaspoons of saline solution. Another way to say that is 1/2 teaspoon of saline solution. So it's just a shortcut. You can do it either way you want, but at this point you're ready to go. So you'll grab your nebulizer, whatever you're using. In this example here, I've got this mask. Some people have the countertop pump style. And some people just have a handheld one, but they all will screw off. The top will unscrew like this. And then the cup is where you just put the medication. So you're just gonna take your mix and just dump it right in there. And that's the exact amount that you need for your session, for your treatment here to nebulize. So you're just gonna put the lid back on there and then fire it up, turn it on. I don't actually have this one plugged in here. I'm just over near a lamp where I can show you this. So let me just kind of hold it up to my face. What it is when I'm nebulizing, this mist is coming out of the mask here. And instead of putting it right on my face like this and just sitting here and putting this strap over my head like this, I don't ever do this. What I do is, as the mist is coming out of the mask here, I'm holding my face about right here, and then when I'm breathing in, I'll go. So I'm not breathing back into the mask. That's basically what I'm saying. That when I'm breathing in, I've got my face close, and then when I'm breathing out, I pull away from it so that the heat and moisture of my breath doesn't condense inside of this mask. It'll get real gunky, and the water will slide back down, and it's just messy, and I don't care for it. So it's just the way that I do it, and you can also do it that way, or you could just put it right on your face and then put the strap on. Some people prefer it that way, so it's whatever you want, but this is how you make the mix of 20% ozonated glycerin so that it's safe for you to nebulize. And even in theory, you could get that up to 30%. It's a bit irritating, and so I don't recommend that you do that. But even if this one at 20% is a little bit too much, you're stinging and you just feel irritated when you do it, you can certainly dilute it even more to a level of comfort. So you'll go ahead and nebulize all of that mixture that we made up. It may take about 5 minutes. If you have a smaller nebulizer, like a handheld one, it may take a little bit longer. Sometimes the pump of those is a little weaker. And I do want you to just have the expectation as the first few inhalations of that mist, it could be a little bit jarring. Just, it's a contrast from breathing the air to breathing that. And so it can create just a little bit of a kind of a thing for those first few breaths. So I don't want you to be discouraged by that. Almost expect that to happen. Maybe hold the mask away at first and then kind of come into it for the first few breaths. You don't have to do that, but it's just a little tip that might make it a little bit easier for you. And hopefully it all goes smooth.